Ya está grabando.
Hi, we're team number 5 from group 221, and this is our presentation about sexual education. These are our group members. So, first of all, we need to know what sexual education is. It is defined about the knowledge of sexuality in humans. This includes intimate relationships, sexual reproduction, STDs, sexual activity, abstinence, contraception, reproductive rights, and more. So school-based sex education plays a vital role in the teaching of sex in young people. However, little is known about the effectiveness of efforts beyond pregnancy and STDs prevention.
There were case studies of pregnant and parenting teenagers who remain in high school compared with those who drop out of high school. The findings were that students from lower socioeconomic status families were more likely to leave school. And of the group of teen mothers who dropped out, 5 of 6 of the fathers of their babies had also dropped out for the good of teen mothers who remained in school. 2 of 5 fathers of their babies dropped out. Teen mothers with career plans, goals, and educational aspirations were more likely to remain in school. The most surprising conclusion was that over time, the teen mother's ability to remain in school diminished due to evolving factors and requiring flexible solutions. The conclusion for this case is that if they should have known of the consequences of being pregnant at that age, they would have thought twice or searched for better information on the topic. Next, we are going to see the reproductive systems, female and male. The male reproductive system. The functions of this one is they produce, maintain, and transport sperm cells and semen. That is the protective fluid around sperm. They discharge sperms into the female reproductive tract. They produce and secrete male sex hormones. The structure of the male reproductive system is composed of the testicles, the conducts of the male reproductive system, accessory glands, and the penis. The testicles are responsible for making testosterone, the primary male sex hormone, and for producing sperms. Within the tests are coiled masses of tubes called seminiferous tubules. These tubules are responsible for producing the sperm cells through a process called spermatogenesis. The conduits. The function is to protect and drive sperm from the testicle to the urethra. They start from the inside of the test and continue with the epididymis, the vas deferens, and the ejaculatory duct successively. The epididymis is a long and folded duct where substances necessary for the maturation of sperm are produced. The vas deferens has a thick muscular layer that, when contracting, impels the sperm form of the epididymis into the ejaculatory duct and the urethra during sexual arousal.
Accessory glands. The semen is made up of the sperm and the secretions of the accessory glands, which are the seminal vesicles, the prostate, and the vulvarethral gland or Cowper's glands. The seminal vesicles make a sugar-rich fluid called fructose that provides sperm with a source of energy and helps with sperm's ability to move. The prostate contributes additional fluid to the ejaculate. Prostate fluids also help to nourish the sperm. The urethra, which carries the ejaculate to be expelled during an orgasm, runs through the center of the prostate gland. Vulvarethral glands produce a clear, slippery fluid that empties directly into the urethra. This fluid serves to lubricate the urethra and to neutralize any acidity that may be present due to residual drops of urine in the urethra. The penis. The penis is the male organ for sexual intercourse and it has three parts. The root, this is a part of the penis that attaches to the wall of your abdomen. The body of shaft. The body of the penis is made up of three internal chambers. Inside these chambers, there's a special sponge like erectile tissue that contains thousands of large spaces that fill with blood when you're sexually aroused. As the penis fills with blood, it becomes rigid and erect, which allows for penetration during sex. The skin of the penis is loose and elastic, allowing for changes in penis size during an erection. The glans. This is the cone-shaped end of the penis. The glans, which is also called the head of the penis, is covered with a loose layer of skin called foreskin. Now let's transition to the female reproductive system. The function of the female reproductive system is implantation of fertilized ovaries. Its composition, it's composed of the internal genitals, ovaries, uterine tubes or oviducts, and the vagina. The external genitalia comprise the vulva. In addition to the internal and external genital organs, the mammary glands are also included. Internal genitals of a woman. The vagina. It is a canal that joins the cervix, the lower part of the uterus, to the outside of the body. Ovaries are small oval-shaped glands that are located on either side of the uterus. The ovaries produce eggs and hormones. Uterus. It is a hollow, pear-shaped organ that is the home to a developing fetus. It is divided into two parts, the cervix, which is the lower part that opens into the vagina, and the main body of the uterus called the corpus. Uterine tubes. These are narrow tubes that are attached to the upper part of the uterus and serve as pathways for the ova, also called egg cells, to travel from the ovaries to the uterus.
Menstrual cycle. Hormones regulate process as the maturation of oocytes, ovulation, and preparation of the uterus for implantation. These hormones are secreted cyclically, cyclically and give rise to the stages or phases of the menstrual cycle. Here are the phases of menstrual cycle, which are menstrual phase, preovulatory phase, ovulation, and postovulatory phase. And here we can see an image that describes the uterine cycle. Phases of menstrual cycle. Menstrual phase. The first day corresponds to the beginning of menstruation, which originated when the fertilization is absent and consequently the levels of estrogen and progesterone diminish. Preovulatory phase. This phase starts at the end of menstruation and ends at the start of ovulation. In this phase, only one ovary will complete its maturation and will be ready for the oocyte to be ovulated. The uterus prepares for implantation. For this, the functional layer of the endometrium develops again.
Phases of menstrual cycle. Ovulation. The peak of estrogen production triggers in the pituitary gland in the production of luteinizing hormone, which promotes the rupture of the mature ovarian follicle and releases the oocyte. Postovulatory phase. The ovarian follicle presents a small hemorrhage, and the cells that comprise it are organized. If pregnancy doesn't occur, the level of estrogen and progesterone decline due to the deterioration of the corpus luteum. The functional layer of the endometrium is detached, and menstruation occurs. If there is a pregnancy, the embryo produces hCG, and this can be detected through the urine and pregnancy test. Contraceptive methods. Contraceptions aim to prevent pregnancy. A woman can get pregnant if a man's sperm reaches one of her eggs. Contraception tries to stop this happening by keeping the egg and sperm apart, stopping egg production, stopping the combined sperm and egg fertilized eggs, attaching to the lining of the womb. Barrier methods, such as condoms, are a form of contraceptions that help to protect against both sexually transmitted diseases, STDs, and pregnancy.
Physical methods. The barrier method, its function is to prevent sperm from entering the vagina or the uterus. They include the condom, the vaginal sac or female condom, and the diaphragm. Condom is a latex covering that is placed over the penis when it is erect and before penetration occurs. Vaginal sac is a polyurethane cylinder with two rings at its ends, one of which should cover the cervix and the other cover the external genitalia. Diaphragm is a cup-shaped gum that adapts to the cervix. Intrauterine device are objects introduced into the uterus and made of various materials such as plastic and metals. It is a very safe method and each device can be used for up to 10 years. A doctor must place it. Surgical sterilization. In men, it is called vasectomy. It consists of ligating and cutting the vas deferens of each testicle. In women, its sterilization consists of the ligature and section of both oviducts. A doctor in a hospital must perform both procedures. Once the process is completed, the person will be unable to reproduce. Chemical methods. The hormonal methods. These methods use hormones that modify the development of the ovarian follicles and inhibit ovulation, in addition to altering secretions of the cervix and prevent implantation. A doctor must prescribe them. There are pills that contain synthetic estrogens and substances with similar function to progesterone. One pill should be taken daily at the same time. There are emergency pills or next-day pills. These contain high levels of estrogen and progesterone that inhibit the production of these hormones by the ovaries. The pill reduces the probability of a pregnancy up to 75%. They should not be used routinely. The skin patches stick on the skin once a week for 3 weeks, skipping the fourth so that menstruation occurs in this period. It is recommended to change the place of the body where it is placed. The vaginal ring releases estrogen and progestogens. It is placed at the bottom of the vagina for 3 weeks, and in the fourth it is removed to let menstruation happen. Spermicides are drugs that kill sperm. They are available in creams, foams, and ointments, which are applied directly or with sponges that inserted in the bottom of the vagina. Its effectiveness depends on the correct use. It is one of the least recommended methods. Partial abstinence. The rhythm method. For this method to work, the woman requires to have a regular menstrual cycle, since sexual relations should be avoided 3 days before ovulation, the day of ovulation, and 3 days after. The basal temperature method is during the ovulation the body temperature increases and the quantity and consistency of the cervical mucus change, becoming more abundant, clear, and elastic. When these conditions are male sexual relations should be avoided for up to 3 days. For conclusion, it is important to know our body and the function of each of our reproductive parts, and also if you're studying the stage when you notice all changes in your body. It is important to have someone you can talk to, especially for he or she to give you some advices. Remember, all these changes are normal and are part of your growth, so don't be scared about them. Also, it is important to know each of the contraceptive methods, their uses, and the secondary effects to realize which one is better for you and unwanted pregnancies. Thank you for your time. For any doubts, remember to always consult with a specialist and confide with an adult you trust.
Bien ahí, lo hicimos a la primera.
Bueno, equipo, bueno.